What is up, everybody? Blue Collar Crypto coming at you, and a lot has happened in the market since my last video. Yesterday, we were a bit depressed. We were talking about this area in the market right here. Watch my cursor. And we were saying, guys, this looks like a textbook bear flag, warning everyone as we watch this market start to just what I call drip. Okay, it had this little hit initially, and then it just drips, looking like a textbook bear flag. But guess what, guys? We got the reversal. We got the reversal, and now on the TA, you got people talking about head and shoulders patterns, upside down. I call this the bottom titty, okay? I'm not trying to be all technical. This is the bottom titty. We're thinking this is a double bottom, and we're pretty excited to see what the market's been doing today. But, guys, you know, if you're looking to buy in right now, trying to get in before the bull rush and the moon boy, and we're going to go to the moon. Not yet. Be very, very careful in this market because we got some critical areas that we need to break through before we can say we have returned to a little bullish momentum here. Right now, taking you to the 4-hour chart, we have a lot of resistance between about 4,200 up to 4,400 in this general area right here. And so if we draw this the horizontal line, which represents the main, where the bottom fell out of the market down here. And then the top of the tippy top of these peaks, that's our range. That's our range of resistance. And if we get on the shorter timetable, you're going to see areas inside of that of more temporary resistance. But this is absolutely critical, is if we do not break outside of this channel, or more importantly, if we do not break above this high, everything could go south very, very quickly. Right now, I'm going to wait this out. I'm not going to get involved in this market at the moment. I'm going to sit back and watch things develop because if we, and it's getting pretty critical here. Let's take it down to the 15-minute chart. Okay, 15-minute chart. You know, yesterday evening we saw that looked pretty bad. We were in the 39.80s, and then we got our bump, broke over 4,000, sailed up. 43.50. This is on the Phoenix Exchange. But just recently, we've gotten a hit. We got a hit earlier this afternoon, and this kind of changes the sentiment a bit. If you're looking at this, taking it a little further into the 5-minute chart, and earlier today, you're in this area, and you're thinking, okay, we're coming up nicely. We're meeting our high, and we're about to break northward, and you see this. Oh, that's a little nerve-wracking. Now, after this fallout, we aren't seeing any sort of comeback, but it seems to be trending northward, which is a good sign, at least very temporarily. But guys, right now, I would say keep a very close eye on this, because if we break to the downside, it's going to be very rapid and very abrupt. Because right now, if this point breaks, we're going to take a very quick trip back down to I'm thinking below 4,000. The 3,900 to 4,000 level. There's not a lot of resistance in this area. Now, we might pick up some support here, but if we break south of this, we're heading right back down to the 3,600 range. So this is a very sort of dangerous time in the market, because if the momentum isn't there, there's a whole lot of downside risk. And that's why I'm saying this is just a simple play right now is a bit risky before we even get into the technicals. Now, but I do like how we got this initial green candle here, and this is far above this. From this perspective, I could see this being a double bottom, and then I could see the beginning of the little Elliott wave here. Let me show you. So, and then we take our journey back up to, let's make it even number, 5,000. And this would make sense. It corresponds with this area here. And then our little 4 journey. And what I think will happen if this goes bullish is we'll see a 5th wave, but the 5th wave is not going to break above the 3rd. And that's critical because you got to remember, we are still in a bear market on the long-term timetable. Taking this to the daily chart, okay? This collapse was incredibly rapid, and it's natural that we would see a recovery because you're zooming this out. You see the timetable this happens on. Okay, the mark's kind of getting in the way here, but you see the idea. That sort of thing is not unrealistic at all, and a lot of the technicals point to the possibility, but it gets a lot worse if we don't break above that, if we don't get that third wave extending up. So taking it back to the 1 hour just to get a little tighter here. Okay. Let's say, just to represent it, we'll use the same wave, but let's say this is 1, 2, and 3 doesn't break above, and you're not going to see any sort of typical 4 or 5, so we're just going to like curl those back in on each other, right? Guess what? When you break to the downside, to my point, much more scary. And this is reasonable. You see that the bottom falls out. Your first wave down gets you down to the bottom you were at before. Your wave up takes you up to the 4,000 range. There's going to be a bull trap here at this range. And then when the bottom falls out, you'll take a dip all the way down to around 3,000. And to find the support at 3,000, you got to take it all the way back to 2017 to find any sort of area where you might get some traction. And that's might, big question mark. Now, judging just by the charts and some basic blue collar TA, if I had to play the odds, I say that we will break to the upside temporarily, and we'll do what I just had drawn out there. So I'm just going to put it right back there for you. Combo wave. If I just had to guess, right? You know, those hypotheticals, right? Well, you have to guess. This here would be my most reasonable prediction. Now, I could be completely wrong. I could be completely batshit crazy wrong, and this could go plunk or this could go plunk. But if I'm going to hedge any bets, this chart right here is what I'm thinking and what I'm seeing. Now, I'd love to see this because I also have a lot of interest in ZCash, and I want to talk about that because I love the technology behind ZCash, but also newly listed on Coinbase. You got to pay attention to that. And with all altcoins, Bitcoin dictates the market. If Bitcoin is going up, the altcoins do well. If Bitcoin goes down, the altcoins drip. So if we're in a situation where ZCash just got listed on Coinbase and the market's doing well, well, holy cow, new option, new bull market, ZCash could really fly. But if Bitcoin's heading down, complete opposite. ZCash becomes a new fiat exit point, and the price of ZCash is going to respond double negative when Bitcoin goes down. So very, very tricky stuff. But let's take a look at ZCash, and let's just look at not Bitcoin, dollar. Let's use the Phoenix exchange. They tend to have the best volume. Let's get rid of some of my lines here. So 2 days ago, I was really, really excited because there was the announcement about ZCash being listed on Coinbase. And right after that, you saw the price go from $83. And to take this down really tight, this move happened very, very quickly from $83 all the way up to $97. So a single entity or a few people in the know. This was not a lot of individuals trading right now. This is somebody buying in, and probably for a long hold, I would think, perhaps. And then people's sell orders getting triggered, and then the market sort of coming back. But very exciting. A lot of sentiment thinking we might break above 90, might break above 100, but then, yeah, sort of corresponded to when Bitcoin went down. So ZCash right now, taking it back out to the 4 hour, has a chart that is somewhat similar to Bitcoin, and for visually. You have your correction, you got your double bottom feature, but the Zcash chart looks a little better than Bitcoin. I should have actually just opened a new tab, but I use 2020. So let's just get back to it here. Because I want to compare these, great, my internet decides to be slow now. I want to compare these two charts and show you why the Zcash chart looks a little more promising than Bitcoin. But screw it, I'm not gonna. Anyway, use your memory, guys. The double bottom in Bitcoin was at the same level. the double bottom feature in Zcash, you notice that the second bottom is not as low as the first, and that's usually a little bullish indicator. Nice little wave up here, which broke above and above in a healthy way, any sort of pressure resistance here. And now we are still above the fallout point, or the whatever the hell you want to call it. So it is possible here that Zcash, even though I am a little bigger on this. Here's your phenomenon of pressure turn support. So pressure, 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 breaks above it, and now that same level, this about $80 level, or 79 where I drew it, becomes the support. And now, draw some more lines just to confuse the issue even further. That's half the fun, right, guys? There is that feature. What's critical is if we can hold and move. I think we're going to move horizontally here for another day or so, and we need to hold above $80. We can hold above $80, and we can get outside of any of this kind of downward influence that most likely, you know what I mean? If that doesn't push us down and $80 holds, that's when we can see a good move with Zcash. And I think that this is all going to depend on what Bitcoin does. If Bitcoin is bullish, this breaks to the upside. And it breaks to the upside very well. I could see it breaking above $100. I could see it testing 110. I don't think we're going to get back up to the previous high because I think we are in a crypto bear market. But if Bitcoin does well in the next few days, you best believe something like Zcash, a new fiat entry point offering on Coinbase, fantastic. I think we'll say break to the upside. But then again, a break to the downside on Zcash can be disastrous. Disastrous, because if this $80 level doesn't hold, right? Where's our next point down? 73? And below that, you're talking about 65. And if we're going to break all the way down to a new bottom in the crypto world, Zcash could be as low as $55 within a week. So you have to be very, very careful here. Stop losses are critical. You got to watch the market like a hawk. Like right now, I'm noticing that it looked like it came down a little bit just visually on the 4-hour, and I'm going into the 1-minute chart, and it doesn't look so bad. Looks like we're actually getting a little support there. But the last bit of news we absolutely have to talk about is Satoshi Nakamoto returns. Nobody knows who this is. Is it a man? Is it a woman? Is it an alien? Is it a group of people? We don't know. But a social media account belonging to Satoshi that had been dormant for seven years added a new friend today and said some kind of cryptic kind of phrase. One word, NOR. N-O-U-R. Everybody's been talking about this. All the conspiracies, what could this word mean? I'm not going to waste my time thinking about it. I'm never going to figure it out. And honestly, I don't think it means anything. I think Satoshi Nakamoto just wanted to say to the crypto community, I'm still here. He didn't want to give an opinion. He didn't want to say anything anyway, anyhow. He just wants to let us know he's there. And I think that's a fundamentally good thing, because this guy or entity, whatever, could possibly control 1 million plus Bitcoins. Yeah. And also to know that the original creator is still around makes me feel a little more confident in crypto. But maybe that's confirmation bias, and maybe that's my humanity getting the best of me. But you know what, guys? As I'm talking, I'm noticing a little move on the green candle on the 1-minute chart, and it gives me hope. It gives me hope. Because in this market, you don't know. At best, these are educated guesses. You are playing your odds here. You're looking at this and thinking to yourself, I think it'll be a 57% chance it'll go up and a 47% chance, and I got to factor in my downside risk. So if it breaks to the downside, I lose 25%, but if it breaks to the upside, I'll gain 40. So what's the factor? It's complicated shit, folks. Complicated shit. And if you don't know what you're doing, this market will break your back in half. I want to give a shout out to Crypto Kirby, my favorite crypto guy to follow. because he's a good mix of entertaining, a little bit of cocky bullshit, but also good TA, good technical analysis. The guy buckles down and does a good job and is serious in the parts of the videos where he needs to be, but then he's also goofy. He's like, yeah, James and Joe at the water cooler, you go. We're going to get this crypto. It's fun, and you need a mix of that. There's in this market, some days your position, you'll do very, very well. You'll make a good amount of profit, and you're riding high. There are other days where it's just red candlestick after another, and you need a little bit of that faith restored. Don't do this if you aren't ready. And I'm not talking about just knowledge-wise. I'm talking about psychologically, because this is a world in here, guys. A world in here. You got a combination of something that is already addicting, kind of something that's kind of like gambling. You just throw your money in one of these low market cap altcoins and see if it pops, right? And you have the potential, the real potential of getting wealthy from it. And that potential is not fake. It's not like you have the potential of getting wealthy when you go to the casino. No, I mean, crypto. Then think about it from hindsight. 2016, everyone who got involved with crypto did well. If they just held for a while and got out, they are at least the number of ones who did well far exceeded, right? Far exceeded. Anyway, guys, long story short, we are really just waiting for Bitcoin to decide what it's going to do here in the market. Until that happens, we're in limbo. We're in wait mode. We have our alarms set. We have our indicators. And some of us are going to be waking up in the middle of the night, jumping on the computer, or in our internet doesn't give out, and moving our buy and sell orders. We're going to short here. We're going to go here, this, that, everything, and the other. It's going to be fun. But Bitcoin is going to make us wait like a beautiful woman. How do I turn this thing on? All right, see.